Enable India presents, in collaboration with Thomson Reuters. This video may not contain appropriate disability terminology throughout. Terms such as intellectually challenged or mentally challenged have been used. The correct terminology is persons with intellectual disability. Source: Diversity and Equal Opportunity Center, DEOC. Further, the term normal is used to refer to persons without disability. This is not intentional. The views expressed in this video about hiring persons with disability are the employers and do not necessarily represent the views of Enable India.
What prompted the company to become inclusive?
First, we started off with hearing impaired. It was only 2 people. This was an easy choice for me. It was not difficult because this disability, I don't consider it as a disability at all. It is more of a boon to the any organization because they are more systematic, they are more structured, okay. And I don't consider this as any disability at all. It is only the disability that lies in us that we have to learn sign language. So most of us now know a bit of sign language. My supervisors can do extremely well in sign language. That's how we started off with the first disability.
In 2004, this JSS Polytechnic for Physical Challenge is very close to our office. Then I used to take a look at it and see the people who have the different disabilities. The college trains for a blind and deaf and dumb and as well as other physical disabilities. But when I just saw the people over there, I got a thought like, why don't we hire these type of people and start training them into the field what we are, okay?
Did the company consult any organization before hiring persons with disability?
Any organization who demonstrates has the niche skill set on how to treat the differently abled, if those organizations like Enable India or like JSS differently abled institutions, they will guide us how we have to design the program, how we have to design the training content, how we have to respond and react. Not react, it's more of how we have to respond with them. Those are the inputs we have taken from them.
It is self-learned. We didn't consult any disability expert, but there is a madam called Ms. Uma, who was actually architecture lecturer, I think. She is a lecturer. So she was actually giving an idea where I personally went there and taken a look at it, and then I decided yes.
How does the company source candidates for hiring?
As regard to the hearing impaired, it was very simple for us. Everything is regular. There are diploma schools, there are ITI training facilities. Only thing is they have to get used to the kind of documentations that we do, kind of work that we require.
For hearing impaired, we have 2 institutions, one in the JSS, the another is the ITI institution in Yadavgiri. We are tied up with those institutions for the training part.
Outside in the yaar bandru
We take anyone, even from outside. We see to it that their accommodation is close by and that they have a caretaker, and then hire them.
Caretaker ಯಾರು ಇರೋಂಗೆ ನಾವು ನೋಡಿಕೊಂಡು ಅವರನ್ನ ಹೈರ್ ಮಾಡ್ತೀವಿ.
Basically, we approach JSS Polytechnic. Apart from that, we receive the resumes.
Internal reference ಮಾಡ್ತೀವಿ.
We recruit through both internal and external references, but we hire after the interview process.
What is the interview process the company follows in hiring persons with hearing impairment?
See, we hire here the disabilities related to hearing impaired. In the hearing impaired, we look on usually they have to complete ITI and diploma. Based on the skill set, we will do the first assessment about their knowledge, what they have studied in their academics. Then followed by that, we have our own psychometric tools. We will administer the psychometric tools. Based on the outcome of the psychometric tools, we will do the selection of the candidates.
The interviews are done either in college or here at the office. They should have basic education. They should understand what we teach them. If you cannot understand anything, then it becomes a problem.
You basically look about the attitude of a person, how he is, what is the willingness of him to learn the things. Okay, so he should have an attitude of learning. He should not just come here to have a job. Whoever is not willing to learn, he will say, I don't know. So such type of answers will come from them. So a person who is willing and eager to join us, they will at least make an attempt. Whatever we are asking, they will try to recall whatever they have learned, and they will make an attempt to answer those things. And he should get adopted to the environment.
First, on the basic questions.
First is just the basics, English or mathematical questions, and a basic drawing. Some very basic questions that can be answered with their academic knowledge. We do not think about the output of the work. If they score well in that, then we discuss orally. In that, we observe their body language. We also check if they are here because they are being pushed by the family, or if they are here because they want to achieve something.
We give 60% marks for attitude and 40% for other technical aspects and other academic career, whatever.
What is the process of in-house training? How important is the training for persons with hearing impairment?
So what we have done is we have done an extension course for them, along with Enable India and others. We have done an extension course in the school itself. So what they do is they do that extension program, and they are almost ready for hiring.
See, for the hearing impaired and intellectually challenged, we have designed a course module that fit into the requirement of the organization. Related to electronic manufacturing industry, we have a forming, through-hole assembly, we have the stores, mechanical integration area, SMD, or the printing, or packing, or inspections, and those are all the activities. Based on that activity, we are going to design the course content that where they will be positioned to understand. We have a 6 months of on-job training where the supervisors and managers are trained to give a training for the differently abled. They have designed a course curriculum, training module. They will follow that structure to train the employees on those roles.
Once we hire a person, basic training of 15 days will be there. So we'll teach them, we'll make them understand what we do here in first 15 days. Then on-job training will be there for 1 year. So we'll not expect the production from them. They will be working, and as well as they will be learning. So because separate only training, they will not be encountering different situations. They have to encounter live situation, what are the problems, live problems, whatever they are facing. They have to understand from that. Then only they will be learning it.
Drawings is specific.
Drawings have specific directions. People cannot do their own. The specific dimensions have to be followed. We have made guidelines for the same, and we taught them the same, and asked them to follow as a process.
What are the job roles in the company that are open for persons with hearing impairment?
It is very simple. It's not a role of Vinyas. Vinyas followed what the NGOs told us. Okay, there are extremely good NGOs. One of them is Enable India. They could easily approach Enable India. What they would do is they would send people. They would look at the entire work environment. They would really map which are the places the disabled can work and what are the small changes that we need to do. And they're going to select the people for you along with your HR and train them and place them and monitor them for a while. So these kinds of opportunities are there in several NGOs. And they have placed it in several industries, so they know the peer also. So it's easy for them to map.
We will make the first assessment what type of jobs they will be in a position to do, like forming, mechanical assembly, or the integration, or the screen printing. Based on that, we will do the assessments.
We have different types of work here. Like there is 3D space, 2D, then both 2D and 3D drawings checking. All of it depends on the skill sets. We have not bifurcated any structure for persons with disability. First, we induct them into the 2D space and check their performance, their drawings. After that, they can either go into the 3D space or checking. So based on their communication skills, which is required for 3D and checking, we let them develop their skills and we have directions to move them to different departments. From there, based on the interest, we move them into the different structures.
Did the company have to make any changes to be an inclusive employer?
In our organization, more of hearing impaired and intellectually challenged are working. So we have not done any major changes. Earlier, we have used the ribbons in their aprons, green for the hearing impaired and for intellectually challenged. Sometime if any emergency happens, they may not be in a position to know which side they go. The other person who sees the green ribbon on their apron, they will be in a position to guide them properly. We have given a course content, training materials, sensitizations program at the on the safety aspects, usage of PPEs, protective equipments in the workforce.
As of now, we are having only hearing impaired people. We have not made any structural changes. I don't think any need is required to change the software. So we will train them in our software whatever is required, and they will take little bit more time to understand the software, and they will work in our software whatever is required.
What is the path of career progression in the company for a person with disability?
For hearing impaired or any other disability, they can grow up the ladder. What we have done is we have also started training them in embedded, like a lot of them were from computer science background, diploma in computer science or ITI in electronics or something like that. So what we have started doing is training them in design, training them in embedded space. They know the entire manufacturing process. So we are training them, some of them in DFM, design for manufacturability. So we know that is the next best place that they can get into.
We will map their skill set. Based on their skill set, we will do the transfers within the department. Sometime when they are working for 1 year, 2 years, they may feel that we have not been promoted. That type of feel factor was there. So we have devised the promotional policy, okay, where special attention and special care are given for them to see that they are also part of the regular system.
Some people matured enough to understand why they are here. They may progressively do well in the initial years, after 2 years, 3 years, 4th year. 4th year, I could see real challenge, like very few people will get it promoted or getting into a next level, like their career. They want to really career oriented people, or few. Otherwise, most other people think like it is a mechanical routine job. And they said, right, yes, this is what I have to do. I have to come regularly to the company and do a 8-hour job and get out. That's all. So this is one sort of a challenging. People says it is some kind of a settlement. I settled down in this company. So I'm getting through and no issues. Because we have a career path for these people. Either after 2-dimensional drawing making, they can go to a 3-dimensional drawing. That is where the model we are building. They can get into the modeling, and as well as they can go back to a checking oriented, which is a quality oriented. So these two lines they have, but we are telling them also time and again, yeah, these are the two ways for you to go forward. But sometimes very mature people will understand this and they'll move forward.
So Ramya was joined here before. She was there with us in the previous organization also. So she had resigned there, and later she came and she joined here also. Though she had a gap of few years, she picked up, and now she is able to train people. Whatever impaired persons we are hiring, she is training those people and she is guiding them. So that we can see that a career growth is there for her.
How important is sign language in communication among employees?
Two people not understanding, the hearing impaired not understanding what the supervisor said, and supervisor not understanding what the hearing impaired had said. And there was a time when the guy brought an axe saying that I'm going to chop the supervisor off. Okay, that was the worst. Okay, then it was a very simple issue. When the HR sat with both of them, we had to let them understand that.
Communications wise, it's good, no doubt about that. They are there in the means the hearing impaired or intellectually challenged. They have a clear thought process when it comes to the communication part. What they want, they are very clear in expressing. For some point of time when we are interacting with the HR, sometimes the hearing impaired used to write to make us better understand, and we used to communicate in writing also. Sometime if it is required, we will take the help of the sign language experts so that the communication, what we understand and what we communicate, it should be in the same lines. So that means we used to interact with them.
Few things which we cannot communicate with them using sign language, we will write and show.
What are the challenges in training persons with hearing impairment?
One of the challenges is with respect to their communication, and if we communicate something, they used to understand differently. So for that purpose, our supervisors and managers have learned the sign language to communicate with them more effectively and efficiently. They used to mistake us for some other reasons for some point of time. So we have sensitized them. So you should care about yourself, not about others.
For disability people, we need a longer period of training. And this longer period, in sense what I say, it's almost a double, because it is not something which we have to teach in a hurry.
Initially, there might be a problem teaching the hearing impaired. If they catch everything, their work focus is also very good. The output is also very good. The hearing impaired who join, each of them have their own potential. Some of them catch up very easily, understand things easily. It may be because of their parents or the college, the environment they are in, or that they are inquisitive. Some of them don't understand quickly. Some of them are aggressive and want to catch up. Some others just want to do things that are told to them. It changes from person to person. When given new work, they have to be taught. Initially, decisions cannot be made. Time has to be invested. They should be given guidelines from time to time. They need constant mentoring. When they are mentored, they are happy and they get adjusted.
What are the benefits of being an inclusive employer?
Somehow we took it as a policy decision not to take any governmental incentives. Even today we have not taken any governmental incentives. But we made sure the whole environment that is there is profit driven, okay, and it was the responsibility of the other employees to train these people, to get them to their level. It took tough hard work, but when my customers started seeing that, there was a very clear discrimination from the customer side. When the quotations are same, quality levels are same, the choice would be Vinyas, not the other guy. So the customers started discriminating against, hey, we have to do something. In turn, they thought they are doing something good for the society. So the orders started pouring in much more than what we expected. So automatically we had to hire more people, the ratios changed. So it was more of a unknown business dividend that came in.
When a differently abled, like hearing impaired, when we give employment opportunity for them, when they can perform better, there are other employees who sees them, they can also do much more than them. It has changed the perception in the organization towards the productivity. Okay, the perception of the perception related to positive aspects, perception related to the working methodologies have completely changed.
There is some provident fund, employer contribution can be waived off for some percentage, and similarly the ESI also got some incentives. Okay, so these things we are into the process, we will going to get it very soon. See that advantages, they are stable, the people are very stable, so not like a volatile whenever they move they walk out, not like that, and they are very stable.
What are your suggestions to other companies?
Any organization more than 10 people can hire a disabled. They can hire 1 or 2. I would not say that there is not a single job. It is just an excuse that people say, oh, that is dangerous. Disabled cannot do it. If you make that dangerous job accessible to a disabled, then you have cut the danger to by 100%. Tangibly the business grows. I don't know how. In competition, when we are equals, I get an opportunity. Okay. If you are looking for such opportunities and increasing your business, please go ahead and hire disabled. This is what I am going to advise people, because there is always a human value in the person who is looking at it from the other side, and he says, hey, this guy is doing this, I would want to make sure that I am a part of it. Can I give this order to him? There is definitely a collateral like that coming in when there is genuine CSR.
So opportunity should be given first, and gradually they will understand that will not be a problem if we hire an impaired person. Okay, so they will work as the normal persons. Their concentration levels, when it comes, it will be higher than a normal person. So they can concentrate on their work more in a very good way than the normal persons, because they will not be having any distractions when they are working. So that is an added advantage if we see.
So opportunity ಕೊಟ್ಟು training ಕೊಡಿ.
Give them an opportunity and train them. They will work. If they do not work, then it is the same as underperforming, because you are considering them on par with everyone. If they are performing well, then they will give better output for you. The first thing is to create the opportunity. Using that opportunity is in their hands. So take that step.
Once they learn the skill, they are very focusing. Okay. So they have to identify the people with different abilities, whatever disabilities, what they have. The people like even they have physical disabilities or like hearing disabilities, but they have to choose the people, particularly what are the people they suit for that organization. So they have to take, in the initial my recommendations, like couple of people they can take and start trying and giving them training and see for a couple of years, and if they're really doing good, okay, then they can start progressively hiring and at least keeping like 10 to 15% of the their overall capacity they can make it.
This is an Enable India production in association with Clear Waters Media. Supported by Thomson Reuters.